Welcome back to another Handyman Land video. Today's video is the assembly and review on the WEN Bandsaw. So I just received the bandsaw and looks like it went through hell to get here. I'm going to have to put this together ASAP to make sure everything's working, because it wasn't treated well on the trip over. So I know it's heavy, but I mean, that's what Dotties are for. This looks like they just threw it off the truck. Okay. We got the bandsaw in the shop. Let's open it up. Let's see if it survived the trip. Okay, we got some instructions here. It's our table. These are the legs. Here we have our miter gauge. There's the miter gauge. This plastic and it's aluminum. This would be our guide rail. Here's our table. The table, this is aluminum. Some people were saying it's cast, and no, this is not cast. It's aluminum. You can tell right there. Here I have a magnet level. And if it's aluminum, it will not stick. So, not cast iron. Here's what will happen if it was cast iron. It will stick. Perhaps you can order one in cast iron, but I don't see why. There's really nothing wrong with this. As you can see, it's very well made. Just for you to know, the screws to mount it are already connected to the table. So our legs. The legs are very heavy. Also, it comes with 2 short brace and 2 long brace. Let's see what's in this baggie here. In the baggie, it comes with this hex wrench, a 10 and a 13 millimeter. 4 knobs. These 4 are the foot to the legs. 4 hex wrench. I just call them Allen keys. 16 M8 bolts. 16 8 millimeter washers. 16 M8 nuts. This piece should be our fence rail. Yep, it is. Get a better look at the fence rail. It's also aluminum. And what we've all been waiting for, the bandsaw itself. So let me get this up on the bench so we can inspect it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. The only damage I see is just a minor scratch. I'm okay with that. I like that. There's a lot of spots where it is welded, even the hinges. See some spot weld here as well. So you saw me lift this out of the box myself. Be cautious, it is very heavy. It's a lot heavier than it looks. I lift it by myself, but if you have someone to help you, I will say do that. You don't want to blow out your back and didn't even get a chance to play with your new toy. I say cut the plastic off as well so it doesn't slip out of your hands, and be careful because there are some oil stains. As you can see, it's oily here, so it can slip out of your hands, so be cautious. So here we have our light switch on and off. Here's our power switch. Here's our low housing knob, which I like that. It seems very heavy duty. So here we have our drive wheel that's connected to the motor. This brush here is to prevent sawdust buildup. Here we have the rubber rim, as you can see. It seems as though WEN has taken the time to also balance their drive wheels. These are weights. Here's our upper housing knob. Just want to step back to give you a better look here. Here are your blade bearing adjustment knobs. See the bearing in there. At the very top, we have our blade tension knob. On the opposite side, it shows you a little diagram here and a warning label. Also on the warning label, it does say do not expose to rain or damp areas. This is a tool that is not to take to a job site really. It's for a workshop tool, because you do want to mount this on the floor for stability and safety. It does not come with hardware to mount to the floor, but if you look at the foot to the legs, there is a hole in the center, and that's where you'll put your bolt and your washer. It also depends on what's the surface of your workshop. Is it hardwood? Is it cement? In my case, it's hardwood. Here we have our blade tracking adjustment knob, and on the back side we have our tracking lock knob. Here we have a little diagram of that as well. Underneath our tracking adjustment knob is our work light LED, and you can pretty much put this in the direction that you need it. Here's our table bevel lock. Loosen this up here. Could adjust your table, then just lock it again. Next to our motor, we have our dust port. Here's a nice feature where you could put your shop vac or connect it to your dust collector. Here's how it looks on the opposite side. So when your sawdust comes down, it gets sucked out through here. And of course our motor, and this will be our motor tension release. Next step you want to do is you want to lay your bandsaw down, either on the workbench or on the floor. Get a piece of wood like a 4x4. If you don't have a 4x4, a couple of 2x4s will do the job. The goal is you just want to raise the lower portion up in the air to help you have the space to put in your legs. If your plans are to mount the bandsaw to a workbench, then you don't need to do this step. You just want to put your screws in these top holes here. For those of you that don't know, a 4x4 is not actually 4" by 4". Get your tape measure. It's 3.5. To get each leg on the base, you're going to need 2 nuts, 2 bolts, 2 washers. If you look closely at the bolt, at the base of the bolt, it's a square shape, which falls perfectly right inside. Here's how it looks. You want to hand tighten first only. Now it's time to mount the long brace and the short brace. Our side brace are on now. Put on the feet. In the manual, it says to place a bubble level on the base so you can level your bandsaw. But this isn't my bandsaw's final destination, so I'll just wait until I decide where exactly I'm going to put my bandsaw. I'll leave a link in the description at the bottom of these Empire levels. Let's take our table, flip it over, and we could just remove these bolts now. Don't lose the washers. Before installing your table, you want to set the bevel to 0. So if your teeth are facing forward, your table here is going to come in through the back side like so. Then screw it in. So here I have 3 of the bolts in. And to get this final bolt in, you might want to tilt it about a 30 or 45 degree to be able to get your bolt and fingers in there to screw it in. As you can see, I have it on the 45. Now go ahead and grab your 4 guide rail lock knobs. Now you just want to screw them in. Do not screw them in tight yet. Okay, now with your router side facing up, you want to place your guide rail right there. And now you can tighten your knobs. Next step is our fence. Now you want to slide your fence, bring it all the way to the left side, then you slide it in on your rail. Excuse the noise of the hen. I think my hens are laying eggs right now. I'll show you from this side here. Put it in there. Then you just slide it in. There you go. You just lock it in place. That's very sturdy. A lot sturdier than I thought it was gonna be. The main thing is to now mount it to the floor when I figure out exactly where I'm gonna put it. Excuse me, we're filming over here. As for the fence, you can have it on the right side or the left side. You just remove the knobs on this side, flip it around, and then tighten it on the opposite side. And last is our miter gauge. Miter gauge is pretty simple. Just slide it on in. Loosen the knob to make your adjustments. Okay, we have it plugged in now. Let's turn on our LED. Nice and bright. We can make our adjustments as well. So just loosen here. Then tighten it when you got it to the spot that you want it. Let's turn it on, see how it sounds. It's very quiet. Very quiet. Okay, I'm gonna cut a small piece of wood here. I don't have a shop vac or the dust collector connected to this yet. I just want to test it out. So let's just skin a piece off this wood here. Nice. Nice clean cut there. Yeah, I like it. But there you have it. That's my video of the unboxing and the assembly of the 10-inch WEN bandsaw. I hope this video helps someone out there. This is not a sponsored video, but I am Amazon affiliated. If you purchase through the link I provide at the bottom, I'll get a small kickback at absolutely no cost to you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon, and I'll see you on the next one. But I'm gonna have to let these hens free range today because they've been yelling all day waiting for me to let them out. Okay, girls. Go find your little bugs.